Welcome back to Alumni Vibes 6 series for the year 2022. Currently, we're at Multimedia University MMU Cinema.
And also, this is the last series of the year and it has been a wonderful year filled with the updates from our alumni.
We hope you will stay with us to the 2023 Alumni Vibes edition. For your information, this program is organized by the Center for Alumni of Multimedia University.
Here, we encourage all the alumni to get connected with the Center for Alumni of Multimedia University and also get in touch with your fellow alumni.
That's right. This talk is among our series which will be streamed live on Multimedia University YouTube channel and also Multimedia University Facebook page. Feel free to like our page, leave a comment, tag and share our Facebook Live with your family and friends.
But before we move on to the segment with our Permata Dunia today, allow us to introduce ourselves first. I am Muhammad Faris Fikram Muhammad, a first year student from the Faculty of Creative Multimedia.
And I am Adina binti Mamamli, the second year student of Faculty of Computing and Informatics.
Nice to meet you, Adina. Now, let us not waste any more time. I am sure you are all very excited to meet our alumni on Spotlight for today. So, allow me to introduce our first segment. We have Mr. Hairi bin Zairil O, the founder of Systemizer Teknik Sendiran Berhad.
Hey Faris.
Hello, sir.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
Welcome
you.
to Systemizer Technique.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, I'm so excited to hear your success story. But before that, you know that one Malay saying goes, tak kenal, maka tak cinta. Hence, I would like to ask our Permata Dunia to introduce your name, your year of graduation, the faculty you've graduated from, and also your current designation.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. My name is Hairi Zairil O. I graduated from Multimedia University in 2005. I joined MMU in 2001. I was a faculty of management. I did my bachelor's degree in business administrative in IT.
Alright, good to know you, Mr. Hairi. While I am Muhammad Faris Fikran bin Muhammad, a first year virtual reality undergraduate from the Faculty of Creative Multimedia, MMU. Without wasting any time, let us begin our interview session. I already know part of yourself, but I actually have no idea what you are doing. So, to start with, could you please brief us regarding your business?
Okay, I run multiple organizations, in total about 5 organizations. My own baby is called Systemizer Teknik and ST Technology Malaysia. They're basically the same entity. So like I said, what they do is trying to solve, most organization runs on IT infrastructure. So they have front-end computers and they require back-end operations. So the back-end operation, they run basically data centers or they run on cloud, for example. So they require someone to not only troubleshoot, build and design, at the same time maintain those infrastructure. So that's where Systemizer comes in. So at the same time, what we're trying to evolve a lot of this organization is trying to automate this process. So there's no more concern about how the network used to run in terms of how data centers run. We will automate all that process. That's Systemizer's core business. At the same time, I do have another organization called City Barat. Basically, it's a family-run business. So City Barat has 2 arms. One is agriculture. So it has oil palm and it has a chili plantation. All right. At the same time, it do has asset all over Malaysia. That's in Johor Bahru, in Selangor, and Perak. At the same time, I do run an organization called Sentinel Insight, in short CSB, which is basically the hostel facility. The hostel facility houses close to 3,000 foreign workers, 3,500 foreign workers, one in Lumut and the other one in Teluk Intan. So it's a hostel facility. We make sure that they fill up the requirement for GTK. These days, you hear a lot of organizations that have to make sure that they have certified accommodation for their employees. So that's what CISB does. I'm also sitting part of the board for a glove manufacturing company called Central Medicare. That's based in Teluk Intan. That's actually a family-run legacy business. My family's legacy is in glove business. So my dad started off about 40 years ago. Now my brother runs the operation, but I sit as part of the board, advising him on his business.
Wow, I'm very interested because I did hear you say about IT company. Because back then, once I finished my SPM examination, I was about to continue my study in IT field, but I don't because I have a problems like my brain said a big no about maths. So I would love to pick this one quote, which is, life is like a Ferris wheel. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down, and in the end, we just need to learn how to enjoy the ride. Right. So I would like to ask you about the same thing happened to your life or even mine, about your accomplishment, because I want to highlight all your achievements that you have accomplished so far in your life. So can you please describe a bit about it?
I think my biggest achievement, is pretty much the organization that we're in right now, which is Systemizer Technique. The reason I say it's my accomplishment is because I pretty much set up the company from ground zero, right? In IT per se, to come back to your question, if you're interested in IT, math is important, but it's not that critical. Because for me, I love IT, but math's not that great. So what I did was I joined IT industry as a sales, what they call me client rep. Right? It's very different. A lot of people has this mentality mindset that if you're doing sales for IT, you're selling credit card. No, selling IT is client rep are corporate sellers. We are corporate sellers. We sell solutions. It's a multi-million solutions to organization, MNC, banks, government sectors. So the reason I say I'm proud of Systemizer Technique is because, like I said, number one, I built it from scratch ground. Number two, right now it's supporting Johor, Sabah, and all the way to Penang. So we have clients all over the place. Number three, we have blessings supporting customers such as Bank Negara, Bank Islam, Product Manufacturing, Takaful Ikhlas, AI Insurance. At one point, we were even supporting BMW Group itself. For me, it was a pride because we were competing against the large organizations, CTCs, we were against IBM, HP, Oracle, Dell, and those are our competitors. And toward our last 13 to 14 years, Systemizer managed to sustain and to support and compete toe-to-toe with this organization. Keep in mind, these organizations are 20 years older than us, 15 years older and large, multi-billion pocket. But continuously, Systemizer will always come as a value, and we always come competitive against them because we show the true value of being Malaysian, our ability to work hard and strive hard. Being an MMU student, show them we are creative, we're hardworking, we're committed to our projects. But at the same time, to show the ability that even though how big or small organization is, I think at the end of the day, the customer wants to see your commitment level. So that 13 to 14 years is a testament to a Systemizer into providing a solution for these organizations.
Wonderful sharing by Mr. Hairi. There's more to come. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Nak tahu kelajuan peranti pintar dalam 5G? Di MMU ada jawapannya. Nak tahu bagaimana kandungan kreatif dan perniagaan atas talian dikuasai? Di MMU ada jawapannya. Nak tahu bagaimana cyber security dan undang-undang berfungsi? Di MMU ada jawapannya. Semua itu dan banyak lagi ada di Multimedia University kerana MMU ialah anda menerajui masa hadapan digital. Layari mmu.edu.my.
You know, back then in my high school, my tutor said, "No sacrifice, no victory," which became my motivation to boost up my energy whenever I feel like quitting or tired of doing anything. So I'm curious, what was your inspiration or maybe your motivation for starting your very own company?
I think I had first of all, it was my idol, which was my dad. So my dad was, let me backtrack a bit about my dad. My dad, by the time he passed away, he was identified by Forbes as one of the most successful entrepreneurs in his time and his era. The reason he was successful is not because the organization he built, but the fact that he did not know how to read, he didn't know how to write. My grandfather, of course his dad back then, was only a farmer. So he moved an organization with barrier knowledge in his hand. He could barely read. He could speak basic English at best. He's fluent in Chinese, but that's as much. Good in Malay, but not so much in writing or reading. So I remember that during time he strived and working hard and trying to achieve where he is established. But so by the time he retired, his organization was very successful. For me, that was my inspiration. If someone has that capability could achieve that high, what was my excuse? I have a degree. I have all the tools. I know how to read, I know how to write. I'm the same blood that he is. He's my dad. So for me, that was inspiration. If someone has limited access, limited tools, limited capability could achieve that high, what's stopping me? So that's first. And number two, I was always hungry. I always hungry to achieve, to build a legacy. I keep telling my team as well here in Systemize as well, one of my biggest inspiration, or one of my biggest drive is to build a legacy. You can build an organization, you can build a company tomorrow, you can build an organization the day after, but people will forget them. So my next target, that's one of my principles, is to build a legacy that not only people remember me by, but appreciate the effort I put in. So that's been my driving factor. But again, of course, building a wonderful, great legacy, a respectful legacy, and that's my aim and objective. So that's my driving factor. My family, my dad, at the same time, of course, my willingness to try to build something that's a bit long-lasting.
Well, it is totally inspirational to everyone, especially for those who are struggling to start a business. Remember, you may be small, but you are mighty. Moving on, you know there's no land that didn't get raining, there's no ocean that didn't get turbulent. Same goes with our life, because we must face a lot of challenges. So what are some of challenges that you face while doing your business?
I think one of the lessons learned that I want to share to the alumni and to the students. The moment that you start a business or you go in your life, I want to inform that, I want to let you guys know that turbulence or hardship, it won't come once. It'll keep coming again and again and again and again. It'll come. Sometimes slightly easier. Suddenly it can be a bit tougher. Something can be insanely tough. I think the biggest challenges for myself, I have run through an organization where the funds was running very, very low. Recently, I lost almost all my engineers. I have an engineering division called CSDD team, Client Service Delivery team, and I lost all of them. And we hired them with hard work during the MCO. A lot of organization during MCO was downsizing. Systemizer was growing. I did the other way around. I asked my team to make sure let's expand, let's grow as a bigger team. So we had the biggest capacity, we had a team close to 40 in Systemizer alone. We lost almost all that resources engineer because of the great resignation that happened last 6 months. They got better offers. I'm not upset because they were going to larger organization, bigger, much more established organization, but it was tough. Can you imagine losing almost half of your resources, in the time that you're supposed to be growing? So like I said, the challenges comes again and again, but my point is, I think as an entrepreneur, you just got to be resilient. You just have to wake up and don't ever be upset that you're sad. You are human, so you just got to move on the next day.
Wonder how fast intelligent machines run on 5G? At MMU, you'll find the answer. Wonder how creative content and online businesses are mastered? At MMU, you'll find the answer. Wonder how cybersecurity and law function? At MMU, you'll find the answer. Find out all these and many more at Multimedia University, because MMU is you, leading the digital future. Visit mmu.edu.my.
Alright, despite all those challenges, it actually reminds me of a song by Stephanie San. I think you well known with this song because it's actually a song that OCs in MMU usually sing to the freshies, which is, look where we are, we've come so far, there's still a long, long way to go. Okay, so enough with that part. Now let us proceed to a bit of throwback of your life as a student back then in MMU. So can you please share some of your MMU memorable moments that you still can't get off until today?
Oh, that's a tough one. I have a few MMU moments. I had a lot, to be honest. I enjoy my time in MMU. I can't really choose one specific memory. It's not because I didn't want to, because every of that memory segments in MMU is very important. It made me mature who I am now. It defines my personality today. I had great friends, fantastic lecturers, fantastic academic student supporting staff who helped me through my years in MMU. I joined, like I mentioned before, I was a Vipers rugby player. I was with MMU Motorsport Division. I was in OC committee. So to choose one memory, it's tough. I even met my wife there.
Oh, maybe you can share
in
some
MMU.
of them.
Yeah, so I met my wife. She was the same batch as I was. She's a business student, but she's doing accounts. We did prom every other year together. So we end up after MMU, a few years after that, I think close to 6 years after that, we got married after we all focused on our career. So yeah, not only I found great friends, some of my good friends today are still MMU students.
Oh.
Yeah, some of my ecosystem in business are still MMU students. My wife is an MMU student. So like I said, MMU defined me. So to be specific, one memory is challenging, but I had a lot of good times and exposure during my time in MMU, so it's hard. I don't think it's fair, but what I'm trying to say is my entire time in MMU has been always nothing but a fantastic memory.
Alright, I can see that I actually just explored maybe around 10 to 15% of MMU life because I'm quite new to MMU since I had 2 trimesters of my foundation year online due to COVID. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the more exciting year in MMU. So, how has your time in MMU helped you to become who you are today and as successful as you are today?
I think my advice to students, especially those who are just finishing, was studying throughout the MCO and now trying to get back on site, coming back on class. I think first and foremost, don't worry, you're not alone. If you having time to readapting back to social life, everybody struggles to do so. Don't worry about it. And here's the best part of being a student. You can be silly about it. You can make mistakes, it's alright. That's what student university is. You learn from each other, you learn from the professors, and you learn to adapt. It's alright. Even though it's tough to readapt, it's okay. That's, as I said, that's the best thing about being a student. You can make mistakes and learn from it.
Alright, so how has your current career or by starting this business actually changed your life or maybe your personality?
My time in MMU was my first endeavor, living outside of the family. So basically it was my first time without my parents. So on social skills, first of all, I've learned to, of course, live with other people and really be independent, manage your own clothes, wake up by your own. No one's going to blare to me, call me, hey, it's time for you to go to school. I come to go to class, no one's, I have to be independent in that sense. So first it was the social skill, being independent. Number two, MMU in terms of the lecturers, the professors, the teaching staff that supported the lecturers, they had abundance of knowledge. I remember going to classes and having good academic debates with my professors, talking about business cases that I've read. It sounds boring, but they always never seem to surprise me about the different angles I should look into. Being a student, you will see things at one narrow point of view. You always have that perspective. But that's one thing about the good things about the learning staff and the professor and the teachers. They allow you to open and see a broader view. So that's second. Third, it also prepared me for my next step in my career and at the same time for my next international endeavor. So when I was coming into my career, I was a bit more mentally ready because the professors has pretty much given me a bit of understanding how work life and what kind of commitment you have to give in working and what you should be prepared to be a good employee. At the same time, when I finished working for a couple of years after MMU, I studied in the United Kingdom. Because I had a good structure and good understanding in MMU, how to learn and what to do, what not to do in college. So when I came into UK, it's a bit easy for me to adapt. So it's not shocking, it's not surprising. So the fun part is, like I said, MMU gives you that structure. Like I said, as long as you respect it and then follow it, I'm pretty sure you will be prepared more than what you think coming in the future.
I see. So I would say like, you really had a great time as a student back then, right?
I had a wonderful time. I think, like I said, I repeat and I definitely emphasize that one of my best time was definitely in MMU. Like I said, and I give an example just now, I told you. In being a student, you can be silly, you can make mistakes. You know, just don't do anything crazy. But my point is, you can make mistakes. You learn to test what is your sociability and what you can do and what you're not supposed to do. MMU gives you that ecosystem that is safe enough for you to explore yourself and to find where is your limit and where your capability is. You know, as long as you're sincere and you're trying to find something for yourself and the people around you, you have the opportunity. And being in MMU, you're in that secure location where they're supportive, great friends, great professors, great teachers. At the same time, you know that you're not going through this alone. You get to learn. You know, so always go out and explore, make friends, and make good friends with your lecturers and professors. Trust me, comes a lot good.
Learn from mistakes, yeah, I really like it.
Not only learn from your mistakes, but always don't forget to try. We mentioned about clubs, societies. Go to join the clubs that you least expect. And you trust me, you learn a lot more things, and you learn a lot more new friends. You know, you never know, you even find your soulmate there in the process. You know, but you never know. You know, I'm a proven testimony that that relationship could last. I'm married to my university, love, so it could happen. So it's not only your social, your personal, your career, but even your personal life itself. You never know, you know.
All right. So moving on, what is your advice to those who are still contemplating or worrying about starting their venture?
I remember when I was interviewing for my first job, I think it holds testament to today because we hired a few MMU students throughout the years. One of the things that you see that MMU students really stands out is the way they communicate. That's a far different, and this is sincere. I'm not talking just because you're here. One of the key strong point of MMU students, they could communicate, and they could communicate very, very well. Number one. Number two, they're balanced. They're academically smart, but at the same time, they have a good social and curricular activity to support. So they're balanced. You know, they're not only one too smart, but they're smart in other areas as well. Three, they're well exposed. They're not in a cocoon or shell, just looking into what they learn, but they're quite exposed in everything they learn together. And most importantly, most MMU students I've always seen, almost 99% of MMU students I've seen, they're well adapted. Throw them in any situation, they could learn, they can evolve, they can move fast and quick. I think because, I think during even my experience in MMU, because MMU didn't only focus about just your academic. Of course, academic is very important, but they give you, make sure that you have just right balance of everything else. The clubs, activities, the events. I remember I have concerts in MMU. So it gives us the exposure, you know, rather than putting us in a cocoon, it gives us the exposure to make sure that we, when we go out, when we even do our interview, we're aware about what's going on in the world. Not only just what happens in Malaysia, but overall, worldwide as well. So that's good. I think that's the biggest different trait, the 4 main traits for MMU students. That's very different.
There shouldn't be any culture shock or what, so now.
They do, because I think fresh grads coming in working, they all have culture shock in one way or another. But I think MMU students, even though they do have culture shocks, the rate of adaptation coming into working environment are slightly quicker compared to most of the graduates. Again, like I said, I'm not undermining any other institution. They are great. Other students are very, very good as well. But my point is, most majority MMU students, like I said, they could adapt much more quicker because they're a bit more well versed. They could communicate better. They're a bit more well-rounded. So that helps them to adapt.
Alright, moving on. What is your advice for your fellow alumni or students who are your juniors in MMU?
I remember when I graduated and after I finished my university, excited looking into my career. One of the things my dad keeps saying to me is that when you're working in an environment and when you grow up, always listen. And I thought when he said listen means when you speak, I hear, I speak back. He said, no, that's not the point. What he was trying to say is listen carefully in terms of what the surrounding is trying to tell you, the situations is trying to tell you, and even what your physical and your mind is trying to tell you. I think a lot of people undermine that. I undermine that definitely. I remember that I was just too stubborn and just too overzealous trying to work hard. You know, I was working from 7 to 12, 7 to 12, 7 to 12 for 2 years. I wasn't listening. I wasn't trying to do, I was just trying to do my job, you know. I think what my dad was trying to say is that when you want to go into business or your career as you grow up, do more than just what you're meant to do. That means listen. Sometimes means that when you do your work, your colleague on your side may need your help. You heard it, but you didn't do anything about it. That will help your career too. So listen to what your manager is trying to help you build. Not only to what he says objectively, but he was trying to say intrinsically as well. So the ability to listen carefully, exactly to good advice, helps. And at the same time, a lot of people these days are just too committed trying to hit an objective, but they don't try to look left and right. Like I said, listen to see what's going on. So I think the most important advice I have to all the alumni is listen. See what the people who means to you are trying to tell you. Tell what your professors is trying to tell you. Sometimes they tell you, you got to fix yourself. They're not being personal, they're trying to build you to be a better person. You know? And sometimes being very young, you just listen to yourself, and I know this is what I want to do, this is how I do things. I think listening is important. And it's one of the biggest traits. If there's anything I could share for my younger self 20 years ago, I would tell myself, Harry, you got to listen. Listen to good advice, find a good mentor, always read, and always, see what your colleagues are doing, what your friends are going, see what you could contribute. When you listen enough, you go faster, you adapt faster, and you can achieve faster. But that means that you got truly to listen. And of course, hear good advice, most importantly.
So last but not least, this is my personal question. So you did mention you joined lots of events, club and societies, sports and so on. And I think you also do believe there are some students who think extracurricular activities might not be that important because they say we need to focus on our academics and so on. So how do you think by joining all those extracurricular activities and events help you to become who you are today, especially for your character development?
I could just say that if you don't join any of the external activities other than academics in MMU, you're not going through the full MMU experience. That creates 50% of the MMU experience. Don't take me wrong, CGPA grades is important, your final work assignment is important. But if you don't go through that entire experience, you won't learn the holistic experience of being an MMU student. So how is it very important? Because I was joining MMU Motorsports. I was in the English Society. I was in the Debate Society. I was an MMU Viper. I'm very small back then, very, very small. But I got to know a lot of friends. I was even organizing concerts in MMU. And I was even an OC, joining, helping new students adapting to MMU. How is it important? You get to test your ability to lead, to be a team player. Like I said, to practice your listening skill, where you actually listen to your subordinates and your supervisors and your project team, where you listen, or you're not a team player at all. So that's why you test your ability. But the most important thing, it makes MMU life much more fun. Why do you want to look at your work every other day? You need life. Don't find life so far. Why are you looking life and online, social media? Don't look at that. That means something, but that's not everything. So joining this club, joining this society gives you exposure and to have real value, real life meaning, to actually see and talk to someone. And that you will cherish for the rest of your life. And that kind of relationship, that kind of memory will last your entire life. So is it important? Oh, please, do not skip those. Join them, have fun. Because the only, those society, one of the key factors they were built to keep you guys entertained and learn something that they can't teach you in books. So please join. This is very, very important.
Alright, thank you for your time and see you again.
Alright. Safe trip. Thank you for coming.
Alright, thank you too. Ladies and gentlemen, being successful requires a mentor. They set the example to make our path easier. Hence, let us hear some tips on career development from some of our Permata Dunia alumni of Multimedia University.
I'm Bae, full name Bae Cho Hao, an alumni of MMU. I'm graduates from Faculties of Information Technologies, FIST, in Malacca campus back in year 2003. I'm Bachelor of IT, majoring in Information System Engineering. Right. Currently, I'm a Group CEO for Emphasis Consulting, Sdn Bhd. Basically, I'm also a founder for Emphasis Consulting back in 2010. Very grateful to MMU that actually shapes my whole life. I would say, starting from the university life, very excited university life, not just in the academics, but also on the co-curriculum. Participates quite actively in the co-curriculums, especially in Chinese Language Society in Malacca campus. Have a lot of experience throughout not just the technical skills that's learned from all the lectures, but also some philosophy of life that actually shapes the day to day. Right? That's also give me a little bit of inspirations throughout the university life to the working life. Joins an MNC status companies, IT companies that is actually have experience throughout real working life with communicating with people. That's because I'm in IT, have a kind of chance and opportunities to go to different kind of industry, because all kind of industry needs IT, and that's maybe drive me go along. Still working on what I study, which is IT all the way. It doesn't bore me because the technology keep on changing from a very black and white or computers to very, very nice laptops today, to different kind of technologies, to apply it towards to different industry. How the knowledge that we gain can transform the way of people's lifestyle through transforming business as well. So I'm grateful I can do what I love and also contribute back to the societies and also the transformations of the world. I think throughout my experience, if you're talking about career tips, I would say that first is follow your passion. That is very, very important, so that you do what you like what you do. Second one is actually play with technology. Play with, because I'm in ITs, if you are in technologies, I think today's world, everyone's in technologies. So just play with technology, stay up to date. Third one, get connected. Connect to the society, connect to the technologies that I mentioned just now, connect to people. I think we are dealing with peoples everywhere, right? Whether in families or in working life or even everywhere, we are connecting to people. So stay connected. Right? Everyone's stay connected right now. Yeah, I think that's the three main career tips. That's our things. Hopes beneficial to you.
Thank you for inviting me. My name is Sujendran. I am a graduate from MMU FOM 2005, and then I finished my university, pursued into the corporate part, and after a good 12 years of being in practice, I began my own one, and right now I'm running my own firm called Trisel Management and Consulting, and it's a very big, wonderful journey in MMU. The 5 career tips. Firstly, you have to listen to your lecturer, and then you have to stick to what you got to do first. When you come out from university, you must be able to work hard. You need to understand that your platform is actually to enable you to be a better person. So you need to be putting a lot of diligence and hard work, and you have to also understand that you have to be more acumen-minded in order to understand how you want to be part of your ecosystem in terms of your practice. And yes, I would really say MMU is the place for you to groom yourself. I have groomed myself. I became to what I am right now, and I hope everybody will do the same.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Ammar bin Putra Abdul Rahman. I was from year 2018 from Malacca campus, and now I'm working with Intel Kulem and living in Sungai Petani. So alright, I am as the part-timer real estate negotiator, and I'm also as the manufacturing operation manager in Intel Kulem for 4 years already. So for 5 career tips for young alumni, I would say that first one will be the attitude. All right, so you need to have the right attitude to grow and move forward. Second would be the enthusiasm and the seek to learn passion, where you can actually being put anywhere, being it a new position, new role, or the one that you used to. Okay, so that will help you to grow more. And third would be to have a mentor where you can actually approach, seek for any enlightenment. And fourth would be you may need to follow your heart for what you are going to do, because you might have the skills but you don't have the heart there. If you have the heart for what you are going to do, you will seek knowledge and strive for that. And lastly would be you need to calm down, follow the flow, and even there's a mistake, you need to bounce back and be resilient. Okay, thank you.
I'm sure you would love to know more from our alumni. Do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Wonder how fast intelligent machines run on 5G? At MMU, you'll find the answer. Wonder how creative content and online businesses are mastered? At MMU, you'll find the answer. Wonder how cybersecurity and law function? At MMU, you'll find the answer. Find out all these and many more at Multimedia University, because MMU is you, leading the digital future. Visit mmu.edu.my.
Okay, now we are at Stabis Multimedia University.
Yes, that's right. But I'm starting to feel a little bit hungry. So let's watch Yummy Segment, a business, food and beverages owned by our alumni.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Hadramaut Kitchen, our restaurant, our main branch restaurant in Jalan Ampang. Please come in, let's go.
Thank you. We are now at an Arabic restaurant, Hadramaut Kitchen, owned by Mr. Ala Abdul Wahid. Mr. Ala owns 3 branches of Hadramaut Kitchen, which are located around Kuala Lumpur. One of them are in Wangsa Maju, Gombak, and right now we are in Ampang. Come, let's follow me inside. Hi Mr. Ala, thank you for being with us today. We have a few questions to ask you. How and when did you start your business?
First of all, I would like to thank MMU alumni for always keeping in touch and contact with the graduate, with the alumni. And I feel very grateful from them to be chosen to highlight me as one of the alumni for the program, for the video. How did I start my business? I started first in 2014. I started my business Hadramaut Kitchen, Sanyan, Berhad. This is how I started. Why I choose to be in F&B business? Because I believe there was a gap between the Arab culture and the local Malaysian culture. So I'm trying to reach to that bridge which to connect both the Middle Eastern people and the Malaysian people. And we all aware that there's quite number of Malaysian, they are originally, their origin, their third generation or fourth generation, it came from Middle East, from Hadramaut, from Yemen, you know.
And why do you choose to start a food business in Malaysia?
Why I started, it's to reach to that bridge, to connect the people and to serve the Malaysian, the very authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, which remind them of Makkah, in Medina, similar food what they used to have during the Umrah and the Hajj, and they can have it now in Malaysia.
Okay. What is special about the concept of your restaurant?
Our concept, it's very simple, but the most we focus on the quality of food and the authentic taste of the food as well. So, and it's more family oriented because we always target the local families to come and dine here as a group. So most of my customers, like I'm gonna say, is 90 to 95% is locals and families as well. So the concept is to keep the family. They always come here for birthday celebration, anniversary, so they feel home here. Yeah.
All right. So what do you think is the feedback on your restaurant so far?
So far, I'm very happy with the feedback. Okay, our rating in Google is 4.2, almost 4.3, which is for me from 1,100 reviews. So to have 4.2 from 1,100 reviews, that's for me is an achievement. So alhamdulillah, it's definitely there is hiccup up and down. We always have issues, but that's where the management come to fix the issues and try to listen to their customers always, what their feedback, if they're facing any issues in terms of the service, at the food. Now I want to show you our nasi mandi, kapsa, madrout, and all this. شغل الضوء. Nasi mandi. This one and the nasi. This one is kabsa, nasi kabsa. This one is Zurubian. This one Zurubian, originally from Hadramaut. This one our oven here. So we do pastries. We have za'atar. It's like pizza. In Turkish they call it pide. In Arabic we call it manaish. This one the kunafa. Now we're showing our signature kunafa, cheese kunafa. This is our chef, Kenan, and this is how we make the kunafa. And this one, one of the ingredients is like mihun, and then we put ghee and we put it. Then we put the cheese on top, and then we close it on top. طول شوي. لا لسه كمان واحدة ها. This one our barbecue section. So we have the grill. We have Chef Arafat. So they will do the barbecue here. We have the shish tawuk chicken. We have the kebab. And we have some grilled vegetables.
So last question, anything you want to say to the audience?
My message is, first, I'm very proud to be an MMU graduate because in MMU, I feel that I lived the student life, which is full of activities, full of entertainment, full of achievements. Even though I'm an engineer, I graduated as an engineer, but I end up in food business and in F&B business. But being an engineer, it's opened doors for me a lot. It's opened my mind a lot. The activities which I did in the universities, it's beyond the books. So it's not always about study books. That's not what you get during your student life. There is studies, there's exams, and there is another life which activities you have to participate and volunteer to help the society in the campus itself, which will give you a good experience and to make you ready for your real life, which is after the graduation. It's very important, and I always tell anyone ask me for advice, go for a university, not only because it's top 5, top 3, you have to look at the life of students, if there's an activities, because this will give you a great experience, a good experience. It will make you ready for your life. That's all, and thank you.
I'm sure you have heard a lot of interesting sharing and advices from Mr. Hairi. I definitely think that all of the sharings that we just had is useful for our future. We do have other alumni who have had their journey to be where they are right now. Let's share some updates from our alumni in the segment Apa Khabar Permata Dunia.
Hai, nama saya Muhammad Nazri, bekas pelajar Multimedia Universiti Cyberjaya, alumni from Faculty of Management, class of 2021. Current job, saya pursue study Master of Philosophy di Multimedia University Melaka, and currently juga appointed as Research Assistant in MMU. Di Master of Philosophy di Cyberjaya, saya punya research berkenaan Emotion Recognition System Adoption, projek yang tengah dijalankan di bawah Telekom Malaysia. So the best part kita study dekat MMU ni, since kita tahu MMU ni banyak student active organize event, especially during campus festival, kita dapat tengok event, few concert, and then student yang mana berminat untuk jadi usahawan, so kita boleh involve diri kita dalam aktiviti-aktiviti macam tu. Kepada kawan-kawan saya yang dah grad daripada MMU, saya wish all the best. Dan saya yakin bekas-bekas pelajar MMU tak susah dan tak kekok untuk masuk industri, dan yang mana kawan-kawan saya yang nak further study dalam MMU pun saya sarankan juga, sebab it's one of the best option and one of the best university juga, especially in private sector. Kepada future graduate, all the best in your final trimester, and ingat, and then after kita graduate, kita takkan lupa MMU, sebab MMU is you. MMU, all the best.
Hai, Assalamualaikum semua. Saya Fariza. Okay, saya graduate MMU daripada tahun batch 2012, Bachelor in Accounting. Sekarang ni saya buat AIA planner. Sebelum saya buat AIA, saya fund accountant in RBC for a few years. So right now finish, lepas dah habis kira resign, now buat AIA life planner, and I'm happy doing sales. Even I'm not doing like macam apa yang saya buat dalam belajar dulu dari accounting, currently I happy doing sales lah. So if even you dah graduate, like macam for example macam I graduate in accounting, then I doing like different from what I learn in university, it's okay, it's fine. Just it's orang kata learning process of part of your life. So just have fun with your life. And for student MMU yang belum graduate and still study, just have fun with your study life, with your current life in your university. Orang kata that time takkan datang. So just live your life, be happy, and make a lot of friends, then enjoy your life in MMU. Woo!
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Ummu Sulaimah. I'm from Faculty of Applied Communication, FAC. So currently I'm doing business, selling spices and seasonings with no MSG, no preservatives. So basically it's already 1 year. So MMU has helped me throughout my journey in entrepreneurship, in my entrepreneurship journey.
Hi, I'm Inspector Nanda Kumar from IPD Taiping. Studied in MMU, batch 2010, graduate 2010. I did my law in the Faculty of Business and Law, Melaka campus. Currently I'm a police officer in IPD Taiping, in licensing department, administration side.
Okay, now I'm at the Motion Capture Studio Faculty of Creative Multimedia. Moving on to the next segment, which is News Vibes. We have a lot more alumni out there who have made outstanding achievements in their field. If you want to know more, don't forget to go to the alumni news section in the alumni website at alumni.mmu.edu.my. Now, let us hear some updates on our alumni of Permata Dunia Multimedia University.
are at MMU Cinema watching a short film produced by our cinematic art student, which has come to the end. So do as our show. I feel like Alumni Vibes 2022 has given a lot of input to us and the students, right, Fik?
Absolutely, Adina. What a great ending to the 2022 edition of Alumni Vibes. But before we leave, I would like to say thank you so much to all the alumni for their willingness to appear in this series, which is also the last series of the year.
That's right, Fik.
Thank you for watching. I am Muhammad Faris Fikrami Muhammad.
And I am Adina binti Mamamli. Goodbye.
See you in 2023.
Alumni Vibes 2022 is a wrap.